Good afternoon. It is December the 2nd, 2011. We are here at the Downey Historical Society in Downey, California, and we are going to interview a Downey resident, Maxine Wenzel, famous for Wenzel's Records and the Downey music label, Downey Records label. President is Bob Thompson, who's going to ask some questions. I'm Jeff Valencia. Hugh, our cameraman, is here, and way in the background is the President, John Vincent. And I'm going to let Bob open up the interview.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for being here, Maxine.
You're
We
welcome.
really appreciate it. I know probably out of the way a little bit, but
Not
thank
really.
you very much. What I'd like to start out with is when did Wenzel's music start in Downey?
They opened the week before Christmas, 1958.
1958.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Where was I? I don't. I lived in Downey all my
high
life.
school.
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
was.
you started your senior year.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I said 50. What did I say? 50?
1958,
Oh,
December.
no, that's wrong. Wait.
Okay.
Now I'm getting confused. No, that's right. They started in
1958, okay. And then I'm kind of going out of sequence, but when did Maxine, yourself, and Tom, when did you start working?
I started in 63, and Tom worked there off and on, then we took it over in 69 when his folks retired.
I see. I know that his folks lived on Barlin Street, but
Mhm.
I was looking up one of our directory books, and in '62, did they move off of Barlin into another area?
Yeah, they sold their house because of the freeway.
Yeah, okay.
The freeway took it over.
Yeah, it was kind
And
of.
then they just lived into an apartment until they moved to Arizona.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that same freeway took my house.
Did it?
Yeah, they lived the next street over from
Oh,
me.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so how long ago did Mr. and Mrs. Wenzel come to Downey? Do you know when they moved?
When did they come to Downey? They came to Downey, it'd be probably 51.
Okay.
1951.
That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember Mrs. Wenzel, because when I was in the Boy Scouts, we had to sell donuts, and she was a very good sport. She bought quite a few from me,
Yeah.
you know, to support everything. She was
She liked
really a
your
neat lady.
donuts.
I liked her very much. And can you recall what all music stars that came through Downey label? You know, I know Barry White was
Barry
there.
White recorded with us, yeah.
And then also on this DVD, we have
Of course, Shantae's.
Shantae's. That's what I think was.
Shantae's was probably our biggest hit on Downey Records.
Okay.
Yeah, we still get, revenue from
Do you?
that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good, Shantae's. And what one did they do?
Pipeline.
Pipeline, yeah. And I was going to ask you this, and I think we already talked about it, but whatever happened to Arnold of the Chuck Wagon? And I don't, you probably.
As far as I know, we never kept too much in tack with them after they moved.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
They have.
And then we already talked about Ron, so.
Right, he passed away.
Right. And how did the Downey label get started?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I worked at the record shop right after that started.
I see.
I think it was mostly my brother-in-law, Jack. Because he was the guy that went out to all the radio stations and everything with our records.
So Tom had another brother, Jack?
He had 3 brothers.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Still one living out in Bullhead City.
I see. I knew,
Yeah.
I knew Ron pretty well, but
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, Jack, that's why we took it over, because he passed away in 1971 with the Hodgkin's disease.
Oh, okay.
So him and his dad, Bill Wenzel, is the one that started the record shop.
And so the store was from 1958 to 2001?
Right,
Okay.
right.
Well, Is there anything that you would like to add to that?
No, you pretty
Okay.
well got it.
Okay, I wanted to ask you some
Okay.
questions. First of all, a lot of people probably don't know what the retail record selling industry was all about. You know, because mom and pop record stores are gone now, and
Yeah.
the chains are gone now. But when it was in its heyday in the 60s, when you were in there operating the store, tell us about the business of selling retail records. What is the whole structure of this thing? How does it work? Do you have to pay for the product in advance? Is it a one-way product?
No, we pretty well paid for it as we went.
Okay.
That was our motto, Tom and I, once we took it over. We said, everything's gonna be cash, we're not gonna get in debt, so.
Yeah.
We started that, but in the 60s, my brother-in-law and them, I'm not sure how they did it, because I was only selling, he was.
Well, how did you operate with the record companies for retail sales? Like, did they send you, I know they sent you
We
40.
went and picked up.
Oh, you
down
did?
in LA. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. That
So there was
my
no
job.
salesman per se that came?
Well, yeah, we had salesmen,
Right.
but most of the, like, for the big companies that were out of LA, they sent them to us, but mostly we went into LA and picked up.
In the heyday, if an LP sold for $5, what was your guys' profit on it?
You know, I don't know because I didn't work in that department.
Right.
But I remember in the 60s when I first worked there, it was like Harvey's. Remember Harvey's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was our heyday, because everybody'd go down there and then they'd come into the record shop, because we was open till 10, and they'd come in, because they'd hear a record down there out of a car, you know, they had the car record players. Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you had a huge 45 RPM business, right?
Oh, yeah, that was our big thing.
You probably had more 45s than anything.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, when the LPs, say a new LP came out from CBS Records, so you actually paid for it up front and then you made the profit off of it? Or did you have to send them back if they didn't sell? Or how did it work with
Well,
the majors?
When we took it over, that's what we did. That's one of the reasons we kind of went out of business, because the distributors got so we couldn't send anything back.
Right.
Everything we bought was
One way.
profit. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
and if it was defective, we just had to eat it. CDs and that came out, so that's one of the reasons it started hurting us a lot.
Didn't you tell me that in the 60s when shrink wrap first came out, you would take it off? Didn't you tell me that? Off the albums because people were complaining about shrink wrap on the records?
Oh, yeah, they didn't like the shrink wrap. They said that warped them. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we'd
good
take
one.
them off for a while until everybody started having shrink wrap, and then we just left.
So did
them
the
on.
CD when the CD came out, did that also hurt the retail sales of records in the record stores?
It didn't hurt us
Right.
that much,
Right.
because we only carried oldies, so we kind of was specialty.
Was the profit margin better on a CD compact disc than an LP? Or
Some. Mostly the imports was our better profit,
really?
the imports, yeah.
Because CDs were like $15, $17. I mean, they never were cheap. I
Yeah.
mean, so would you say you made 40%, 30%?
Again, I'm not sure.
You don't remember?
But I remember Tom, I never did get into that, 'cause it was Tom's mom and dad's business. So I told him when we took it over, that's your problem. If there's a mistake, I don't want to be in trouble.
When did the label close?
Oh, boy. See, my brother-in-law died in 71, so it was probably 69.
So you had the recording studio right where the lawnmower shop was, or was
Right.
it in the back?
No, it was where the lawnmower shop was.
It was a pretty large
We had
studio,
both
right?
buildings. Oh, yeah.
We saw a picture of it. You had two
Yeah.
500 Ampex
Yeah.
machines, and
Uh-huh.
you know, so.
Yeah.
And it accommodated obviously a small band.
Right,
So.
right.
And then in
Oh, yeah.
'71 you gave that up, and then it just became the one side. The
Yeah,
record store.
that's when we went into the oldie used records.
So you don't know what they profited on the label itself? Did they make money releasing records? Or?
I really don't. I never got into that part of the business.
Did they go through jukebox operators, radio station DJs, or how did they plug them, or do you know?
Well, my brother-in-law went down to, the radio stations when we first had Pipeline and that.
So he was the plugger. He went
Right,
plug.
yeah, he was a promotion man or whatever they call
He was
him.
successful, right?
Oh, yeah, he did good. He was very good. We were very sad that he got sick.
What was the biggest label on your record? I mean, on your hit? What was the biggest one you ever had, sales-wise, or?
Oh, Pipeline, of
Was it?
course. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I can still hear that in my head.
Yeah, and then of course Boss. I just got on Facebook from one of the Rumblers, Boss Soul is gonna be in a movie. So that ought to be good. Of course, we sold all the rights type thing. I think we still got publishing.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
So the Downey record label exists as BMI or ASCAP or something like that?
Yeah, Universal owns it now.
Oh, MCA bought
Yeah,
everything.
MCA bought it.
When did they buy everything from you guys?
Oh, probably when my father-in-law retired, probably around 77, because they moved to Arizona in 71.
Wow.
So,
Do you remember how many 45 releases there were on Downey label?
no, I don't.
At least 100 or 50 or
Oh, yeah, at least, yeah.
I know I have some.
Do you?
I
Yeah,
have at home.
uh-huh.
Tell us about Bill Smith Custom Records. You remember Bill Smith in El Segundo? He was a pressing plant over there. I think he pressed your records. didn't
I
he?
think my father-in-law did all that, my brother-in-law.
You didn't have to deal with Bill's?
All I did was sell records. That was my business.
Well, now I heard a story that also Walker, who owns Norwalk Records, I forgot her name now,
Yeah, I can't remember
remember
her
her name,
name either.
and you guys and other local record stores in the area sometimes would bootleg 45s if the song wasn't on a 45.
Oh, yeah, my father-in-law did that for
Can,
a while.
can you tell us that story at all? Like, what did they do actually? The kids would come in and ask for a song that wasn't on a 45, apparently. So you
Oh,
guys
no,
would actually.
they didn't do that. It
No.
was just certain records that people was asking, like
see.
Anna with the Beatles. There
Okay.
wasn't a 45. They wanted that, so.
So you guys would run like 50 of them?
Yeah, uh-huh, yeah.
But it was pressed or just used a little lathe in the back?
No,
huh?
he just,
Lathe?
well, we did press records that was on a white label.
Those are really valuable now.
Yes, they are. Very
Because
glad.
that Beatles one would go for a lot of money
Yeah,
if you found
yeah,
it.
I think that was Ringo Starr who was saying that.
I don't know, but
I don't
that,
know, it was just on an album though, so, yeah.
that's kind of funny. Were they cheaper than the regular records?
No?
When you quit, how much was a 45? Do you remember?
Oh, wow, I don't remember.
About $2 probably?
Probably around 2,
Yeah.
maybe a little more, yeah.
I think so. I bought a couple just
Yeah.
before you closed, and it was around that.
Uh-huh, yeah, I think it was around 2.
What do you think of the idea that the vinyl record has made a huge comeback now?
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, you can buy turntables at
Yeah.
Costco with a UBS
I
out to
just
go
heard
computer.
that. I just heard that.
Kids have a fetish
Uh-huh.
for them. The companies are pressing
Yeah.
everything now on vinyl,
That is
and the CD is
amazing.
going down.
Yeah,
Imagine
probably
that.
because people, they can't send them back if they're defective.
Right.
Who knows?
Well, in the early days, were a lot of CDs defective? I think probably.
Mainly what happened was people would put their finger marks on them. Once their finger marks got on them,
The oil would.
it didn't pick up. The laser didn't pick it up.
Right.
That was our biggest problem at first.
Right. I knew when they started there was a high rejection rate. I think,
Yeah.
until they got
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
Gosh. So what do you do in your spare time now?
Nothing. I'm nothing. I'm
can
going
you-
next week down to my sister's in Arizona for a week, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you still get old customers looking you up, or people who were on the
Some,
label?
yeah, especially since my kids put me on Facebook.
Yeah.
They put me on Facebook because, so I could see pictures of my grandkids and great-grandkids. So
Yeah.
that's the only way I get to see a lot of them because they're out of state. So-
You didn't keep an archive of Wenzel's at all?
No, I should have brought the thing of all the CDs that, because Tom would keep, Ace always sends us a copy of all the CDs they put out with our stuff on. So I forgot to bring it though.
Maybe if we zoom back, she can show the covers. We'll pick one up. Show us some of the
Oh.
album covers you brought here. You can tell us a story about the first one.
Well, I can't tell you much, to tell you the truth. Of course,
Hold
this
that
is
one.
our biggest hit, Pipeline,
Yeah.
with the Shantays.
Yeah.
That was our biggest hit. In fact, Wayne from the Shantays is one of my buddies on Facebook.
Okay.
Hold it up. And this is Boss by the Rumblers. And, Wayne's from Rumblers. He's the one that gets me on Facebook. Pipeline, I don't keep in touch with any of those guys. Because they get their money from royalties through MCA,
I see.
Universal now.
Steve Probst doesn't hound you anymore?
No, and I tried to get hold of Steve Probst.
You have?
When Tom died,
Yeah.
the phone number I had with him and the address and that, I was wondering if something happened to him or if he moved. Have you heard from him
Well, I
lately?
referred somebody to him a couple years ago at that old number in Lakewood, and it worked. I'll have to look for you, but,
Yeah, because I thought, well, I'll let him know, that Tom passed.
I mean, he
and-
can't leave any rock and roll icon alone, so I'm surprised he hasn't tried to
Yeah.
track you down and haunt you.
Steve Probst, yeah, I've met him.
Yeah, he used to. In fact, he's the one that got us into used oldies.
Really?
Yeah, Steve and Chuck. Can't think of Chuck's last name.
Wow. What was your biggest selling 45, retail 45 in the store?
Retail? Oh,
Beatles, probably.
well, not necessarily. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just remember the wall in the other room would have all the valuable records
Yeah,
on there. And
right.
you had a copy of Teenage Party on G for $180
Oh, yeah,
or something.
right.
That was a big
Uh-huh.
selling.
That was one of
I
them,
have it,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was a big
Yeah.
selling record,
Yeah.
G.
Yeah, that was one of the biggies.
I know, I went into the store one time and one of the members of the Medallions was in there.
Oh, yeah, he comes in. He used to
And-
come in all the time.
Right, and I guess the lead singer, what was the lead singer of Medallions? I just had his name, but he was dying of diabetes, I think. Vernon Green.
Oh, Vernon Green, yeah.
And so approximately, how many groups came through there though?
Oh, boy. I was trying to think of who did come in.
Well, I know Barry White was.
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah, he recorded it for us under the name Lynn Berry.
Yeah.
So if you ever find that record, that's worth, well, it used to be worth the money. I don't know now,
Well, they still
when
are.
we had, yeah.
Well,
Wow.
speaking about Steve Probst, that guy has a record collection.
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
Won't
yeah.
quit.
Well, now, did an independent artist ever approach you guys for recording, or did you have to go out to get them? How did it work, or do you remember? Was there an A&R guy, he went and looked for him, or you don't know?
I don't know. When it comes to that studio, like I said, I sold records and they worked the studio, so
Yeah.
that was my job to run the record shop. His
It
mom and I, yeah. And the guys did the recording.
Where's the other CD? I handed that one. And then you had a couple CDs out. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that one first. Where did this one come from?
Downey Blues,
Hold that up so we can see it.
yeah,
Yeah. When was that released?
I have no idea. You're
I think it
asking the
said
wrong
61.
person.
On the back it said
61 to
Yeah, but I think it was released before that. I mean,
after that.
after that.
Okay.
This was when, see, T-Bone Walker, Jesse Hill was in our, yeah.
Did you get a chance to meet any of these folks that came in?
Yeah, oh yeah. In fact, we used to get a kick out of Barry White when he come in. He was very big,
Yeah.
Barry White.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law used to sit up, if you remember, on the desk, overlooking the records.
Right.
And he'd always call her Mom. Hi, Mama, when he'd come in the door. And when we had customers, it was so funny because how dark he was and how
Oh,
big
yeah.
he was. And,
Yeah.
and everybody used to get a kick out of that, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the new one you just released here? The new one.
This is the one I just got from Ace. It's called The Downey Story. And it's got a lot of good stuff on it, I think it's got Pipeline and that on it. It's
Does it?
got a lot of our hits on it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really nice story inside that tells you everything. Yeah.
Let's see the cover.
Can anybody buy that?
Oh, yeah, it's in the stores now. In fact, right after this came out, I got a call from, I don't think you guys know Johnny Brannis. He used to be around the area, and he moved up to Petaluma and opened a record shop. And he worked at our record shop for a while. And that's how he found out Tom died, and he called me,
Mm.
because he has this in his record shop. Because
Wow.
he saw the Downey records.
So it's called the Downey Story?
The Downey Story, uh-huh.
Okay, and so,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but my son did, and he said it's really good. They really did a good job on it. Because I took it over to my son's and let him read the story, and it's got a really good story. It practically tells everything. Like I said, the only that thing I saw on here was wrong was the date we retired. We retired in 2001. They got 2000.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty much.
What about other stories from the artist? Any memories of the other artists that you talked to or interacted with?
No, not really.
Were they all pleasant people?
Oh,
T-Bone
yeah.
Walker and
yeah.
everybody?
Uh-huh. A lot
Okay.
of the, like T-Bone Walker and a lot of the black guys that used to come in, used to go in the back door, but always drinking a lot.
Yeah?
I remember that, they'd bring their beer. But they recorded good.
Yeah? Only one take, two takes? Was your producer, was he a one-take guy, two-take guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the studio.
I just remember one time I went in there and Tom asked me to look at some tapes. He had them in the bathroom,
Oh, yeah.
stored over the
Right.
window, and they were quarter-inch masters on
Uh-huh.
Scotch 201, I
Yeah,
think.
that's what we sold to Ace Records.
Yeah, all those masters. Because the
I
good
know.
thing we took them down too, because they were
Yeah.
ready to go. He had 'em by
It
the
was
bathroom
funny,
window.
yeah, because when people would come over from overseas, from England, they always wanted to see our bathroom because they wanted to see the tapes. So we take them back in the bathroom.
Okay.
They always wanted to see those tapes.
They finally got them though.
Yeah, they finally.
They
right
sound
after-
great too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful sounding.
Oh, yeah.
They
you
were
listen to
15
any of
ips,
these.
big, real,
Yeah.
beautiful tapes.
You listen to any of these and they're very good.
How about any other incidents in the store? You remember anything fun that happened in there? Bad, nice? I remember one day, I do have one story. One day I came in there and you had this real like shocked look on your face. And I said, what's the matter, Maxine? They found a dead body in a car in the
Oh,
parking
yeah,
lot.
in the parking lot.
Remember that? What
Saturday morning.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd been there almost 2 days,
Oh,
but we didn't know. Because when we come to work, it was the first car parked in the parking lot. And Tom thought, somebody's just left a car parked there, you know, so we didn't pay attention for one day. But the second day, then Tom started getting upset because they parked right in front. So he said, well, I'm going out and see if there's an address or something like, and there was a dead body laying on the floor. So we had to call the police. It was a Saturday morning. Yeah, they figure he was from Inglewood, and they figure drug overdose because he wasn't shot or nothing. So,
Yeah.
and somebody just come up the 105, dropped him in the first parking lot. They found. That's what the police thought, anyhow. Yeah,
Gosh.
yeah.
Did you
Of
have
course.
fun as a retailer? You have fun working there?
Oh, yeah, I love my job.
Did you?
Yeah. In fact, after we retired, I think that's what got Tom, because he liked to go out and interact with all the people. He always talked to everybody and went
Yeah.
out and helped them with stuff.
Oh, he helped me plenty
Yeah.
of times. I know
Uh-huh.
one time on I said, Tom, I'm looking for a song. I don't know the name of it, or I know the name of it, I don't know the group and so on. And the name of the song was Ain't No Big Thing. He go, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
right over here, and pointed and got it, and by the way, it's by the Radiance.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But
He was really good that way, and so when we retired, you know,
Yeah.
we were busy the first year. We redid our house inside
You
and
did.
that, but then after that, you know, you get bored and after so much.
When you closed up, did you have inventory left?
We had a little bit, but we had one of our customers that was regular customer on the used records. He came in and bought everything we had.
Wow.
Yeah. He came over to the house and looked at it and he said, I'll give you such and such, and he just bought it all.
So did you own the store or was it a lease?
No, we just leased
You
it.
leased it?
Tom's folks tried to buy it 2 or 3 different times, but the people that owned it didn't want to sell it.
Hmm.
So they
What
wanted
is it
to keep
now? Does anybody know?
It's a
What is it?
99-cent store, a dollar
Right.
store.
right,
Oh, it
and
is.
and a taco shop.
Yeah, and the taco shop's where the record shop, or the studio used to be.
Right, and
Uh-huh.
also used to be years ago also a laundromat.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, a laundromat, yeah, that
Yeah.
was there before the lawnmower shop.
Oh,
Right.
really? That's interesting.
Mhm.
I guess the studio had to close if a lawnmower shop moved next door. Yeah. That wouldn't have been very good for the sound. you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Gosh.
Yeah.
So,
What about Downey itself, living in Downey? Have you memories of Downey that fascinate you or anything you, being a Downey citizen?
I just remember it rained really hard in 1952 in November because it was the day we got married. I was wondering if anybody was going to get to the wedding.
well, I was gonna ask about you and Tom, you know, how you went to school together. And,
Yeah, we went to Bell High School.
Okay, Bell.
Yeah,
I was
that's how
saying
we
Huntington
met.
Park,
No,
but it was
Bell.
Bell, yeah.
Yeah, Bell High School.
And you met in the 10th grade, 11th grade?
Oh no, we got married when I was in the 11th grade.
Okay.
It was about the 9th grade, right after I started Bell High School.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
And you moved to Downey in 52, you say?
His mom did.
Oh, okay.
Tom and I lived in Maywood for quite a while,
I see.
up till, well, and then we moved to Norwalk. We bought a home in Norwalk. And then we moved down here in '69 when we took the store open. We bought my brother-in-law's house, which is right behind the record shop, so. That was another nice thing, we didn't have to drive very far to work.
What was that, the one on Lakewood?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, we live
to the
right
right, huh?
behind there.
Oh.
I don't know if you know where Golden Park is?
Yeah.
We live just the other side of Pritchard, which is just.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice street
See,
in there,
it's
yeah.
south of, south of Golden Park.
Do you buy records anymore, CDs?
No, no.
You're not interested in new music?
No, no.
Do you still like music at all?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What's your
uh-huh.
favorite music?
Well, I listen to country now.
Oh, I see.
Well, how
On
about
the
that guy,
car
the Rhapsody in Black, his name wasn't?
Oh, yeah, Gardner. Do you remember
Bill
Gardner?
Gardner?
He was
Oh,
a
yeah.
black guy. That
Uh-huh.
he had his parents had record shops, I think, didn't they? Or
I don't
Bill
know
Gardner,
about that, but Bill Gardner, yeah, he used to come in all the time, he used to be a DJ.
yeah, he still is. Yeah.
Oh, is he
He's
still
still
the
On
DJ?
Tonight, his show's on Tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the
What is
station
that again, 90.7?
90.7 FM, but I think the transmitters on Mount
Oh, yeah,
Wilson
it's
are
windy
hammered.
out there, yeah.
I think a lot of the FM bands
Yeah.
are off the air.
I miss Steve Probst's radio program.
Oh, I know, yeah, that was
He had
pretty
a good one.
popular,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there was a guy I worked with, John Menacucci. He broadcast out of KPCC,
That name sounds familiar.
and he had a lot of good stuff too.
What you
Yeah.
got in your goodie bag? Anything else to show us?
Oh, well, I just brought some articles. In fact, I might have told you the wrong date when they opened the store, because there's this paper articles here that, let's see, this is when it opened, and I might have told you the wrong date, let me check. Dum bum 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 bum. I know they had a thing, okay, the studio from 1959 to 66. So you know what, the record shop, this seems like it was earlier than that, I don't know why I'm blanking out, must be my age. Weird. Yeah, Tom did a lot of newspaper articles, you know, so he was more into this than I was. In fact, there's a story by Steve Probst.
Wow, how about that?
Yes.
1958, so I was right. A week before Christmas, 1958.
Same location? Because we were trying to
Uh-huh.
figure that out.
Yeah,
Same
Yeah.
location.
yeah. In fact, the Blasters is another Downey group that used to come in. I mean, they bought all the records at my place, you know. They liked the, especially when we got the used ones, because they liked the blues. And they would come in and really go through those and buy a lot.
Well, I love the 78 racks in the back, so
Oh, yeah.
I pawn through those things
Right,
every week.
yeah.
And I still buy 78s.
Do you?
That's all I play. I don't,
Wow, yeah.
I've never owned a CD player. I'm still playing 78s.
Yeah, well, the only one I own is the one in the car.
You don't have a record player at home?
No.
Oh, I saw that article. That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah, 'cause that's when it's talking about Downey's got the blues, so there
There's the
you
label. Okay.
So they're quite a few years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody?
No, not offhand. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Maxine? Anything that you feel like
God, can't think
let
of
us
anything.
remember of,
I
Yeah,
don't think I was ever in.
Wenzel's Music Shop?
yeah.
Who were your biggest competitors?
Probably, boy, you know, even when Wallach's Music City was down there, when we first opened, that was our competitor then, the only one.
Right.
Us and Wallach's was the only stores that had sold 45s, I think, back then.
I think Wallach's had a listening room too. You could play the
Yeah,
45.
Yeah, they
oh,
did.
I'll tell you a funny story about the record shop. Did you ever come in when we had the listening rooms?
I think so.
We had two of them. Some drunk come in one night and, or one day, and he was listening, and we thought, we went to close, and evidently he fell down in the booth, and we didn't notice. And in the middle of the night, the police called us to come and open the door because he had woke up and wanted out. He just called the police because he didn't want to get in trouble. So from then on, we checked the booths before we left every night.
When did Norwalk Records start? Remember?
I don't know.
Did you know her? Walker?
Tom went up there more than I did. I went up there a couple times. I knew the black guy that worked in the back.
Would you know Bill Walker, the son? He started Thump Records.
Mm-mm.
He became a very successful producer.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's very successful.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think there was a record store in Downey, Bean and Wheeler. Do you remember them, Hugh?
I remember Bean and Wheeler, but I remember them as a television and radio sales.
Well,
They may have had records too. The
Yeah.
only record shop that I recall is Humphrey's Harmony House.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
Humphrey's
on the
was
north
over
side
on
of Firestone,
Firestone,
just east
yeah.
of Downey Avenue.
Well, good. Middle Earth came in a little
And
later.
then Middle Earth, yeah, but they weren't really our competitors that much. I mean, we all kind of sent, if we didn't have it, we'd send them to all those other places, and they did the same, you know, they were
I
really good.
know I
that
bought a
way.
record out of Bean and Wheeler. It was a group called the Turks.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
a Fool was
I'm
the
a
name of it.
Fool. I don't remember being, huh,
Hmm.
wow.
There's a huge record store now up in Los Angeles. Well, there's a couple, but the big one is Amoeba.
Oh,
Really?
The one in San Francisco is actually a converted bowling alley, and one
Wow.
whole room is LPs.
Well, I saw one on TV not too long ago that they showed an upstairs and a downstairs of some big
That's
record shop.
the one, right?
Oh, is that
Amoeba
the one?
and all
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there. My daughter took me. That's beautiful.
Huh.
Oh, man.
Wow,
They got some good oldies but goodies, 45s,
Uh-huh.
R&B, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Fire marshals?
Yeah, they're okay.
Okay. Well, everybody gets those occasionally.
Oh, yeah, we got them too.
Good.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, they used to come in every once in a while and check us out.
Wow. What'd you do with all those cool photos on the wall? You get rid of all?
Sold them,
Yeah?
yeah, he sold everything.
Yeah?
He wasn't a collector at all. I know that's what, everybody was so surprised that we weren't collectors.
I just remember at the end, you called me up and said, come down and get all the 78s off the wall, you can have them. So
Yeah, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, and there was one of the Collins kids on there, Columbia, you wanted $18 for it, and of course you just gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
And I sold it to a guy in Sweden for $80, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know, our best thing on the used records is Tom and this Chuck used to go to swap meets at the drive-ins and that. And they brought home a big box of records, and he bought one of Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven,
Oh, yeah.
and it was on a 45, but it never came on a 45. This was just a promo. He bought it for a dime. We sold it for $100.10. So $800 on that one record. That was nice.
Money in the bank.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, some records were
What
valuable.
are my
Oh, yeah.
78s?
I don't know.
yeah.
I bought a great Phineas newborn RCA off of you. I still have it for $20.
Oh, yeah?
That was a good job.
Wow.
I think it's probably worth 90 now or 100. You know.
Oh, yeah. I know when we retired and my husband wanted to see how much these albums were going for, because Downey Records originally, way back, we could get quite a good money if it was on
Right.
Downey, because we sold it so soon. But my grandson looked up on one of eBay or whatever that thing is, and he said the only one he could find was like for $20 or something. And now I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it for $20.
Oh, no, they're worth more than that.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yes, they
them
are.
quite a bit.
Yeah. We found, when we had an auction one time, an auction, I guess, our biggest things were from overseas, our biggest bets, because he'd send papers out. And maybe a record would be worth $20, a whole bunch of people around 20, but overseas they'd bid $100 and $200 for the same record.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I know who famous came in our store, Ronnie Millsap. Do you know
Oh,
him,
really?
Country and Western?
Yeah.
He's
guy.
blind, yeah. And this big limo pulled up one day. We thought, God, it's gotta be somebody important for a big limo. And then right away I recognized him because he came in with his wife and his son. But believe it or not, he was so nice with all my customers, because customers started coming in when they saw the limo out
Oh,
there.
of course. Yeah.
And asked him for his autograph. He signed records for him, but he spent, at that time we just had albums. We didn't have CDs. He bought over $500 worth of albums.
Wow.
But his wife, they were in there quite a while. His wife read the titles to him and everything.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
was so nice to everybody. He was just really nice.
I think Wenzel's, I mean, if you wanted to know who Bull Moose Jackson was, you'd almost have to go to Wenzel's to find out.
Yeah.
Before the internet.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, that's another thing that hurt our stores, the internet.
Did it?
Yeah, it really, yeah. Even though we specialized in oldies, they still, you
Just
know,
close
can get
it
it
down.
off the internet.
Yeah, even now, I just got the Penguins Mercury label
Oh, yeah.
downloaded now. I think
Yeah.
it costs $10, but.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Yeah.
fascinating.
yeah.
Well, hey, I think we're done, yeah? You have a question? Anybody?
I'm clear.
Well, Maxine, thank you so much.
Yes,
for coming in.
excellent, thank you very much.
Yeah, I
Beautiful
can't think of
this
anything
interview.
else to tell